Restoration drama it is. Hello, how are you? This is Heena from Team Vallath, and today's questions have been handpicked from the most important topics of restoration drama. To make my lecture more interesting, do you know what have I done? I'll give you a quick recap of restoration drama, the history behind it, what happened to England all of a sudden after the restoration of King Charles II. Let's talk about it, and after that, we will dwell into the MCQs, right? If you love our videos, just drop down a comment, like our videos, share them with all the UGC NET English aspirants. And in fact, if you want our courses related to English literature exams, please call us on 93878 Let's start with today's video. I'm very excited. This is one of my favorite topics, restoration drama. Actually, in 1660, the theatres were opened in England after a ban on theatres after Charles II returned to the throne, because in the English Civil War, it was him who was throned. It was him who could make the decisions. So, start 1660, theatres reopened. Therefore, English drama becomes bold, witty, and scandalous. Right? These are the actual, you can say, themes of restoration drama. It is bold, it is witty, it is scandalous. Look at the theater and look at the number of people. It's massive, it's huge. Drama was popular during restoration. What should be the features of restoration drama? You should know these terms very nicely. First, comedy of manners. In comedy of manners, everyone tries to act mannerfully, but everyone is a hypocrite. Here, marriage is not true, love is not true, it is just a social game, and also to climb up the social ladder, right? There are double standards. There is physical boldness, that in fact is the next feature of restoration drama. You look at The Man of Mode, a play by George Etherege. You look at The Country Wife by William Wycherley. All these have physical boldness, affairs, extramarital relationships, trying to carry multiple relationships with multiple women at a singular time. So, what did the dramatist want to do showing all this on the stage? They wanted to satire the society, because after Charles II on the throne, people became relaxed. Aristocracy entered, parties entered, ladies getting up and preparing for that night's parties, card games, getting ready, royal robes. So the dramatist mocked at this society. So restoration drama was a satire on society, and very important side genre of restoration drama that came into birth was heroic tragedy. Please remember it. Who introduced heroic tragedy in English literature? He is none other than John Dryden. His most famous play will be All for Love. In heroic tragedy, the theme is love and honor. Okay, easy. So now you have to tell me, who are the most famous dramatists of restoration drama? Four playwrights, please speak after me. William Congreve, George Etherege, William Wycherley, and John Dryden. Will you remember? Yes, you will. And with this, we are very much ready to enter the world of MCQs with Vallath. Wow. Listen to this properly. You will know a lot about RD today. Restoration drama. Sophopling Flutter appears in which play? Sophopling Flutter, who is a fop, appears in A. The Country Wife, B. The Way of the World, C. The Man of Mode, or D. Love for Love. Foppling Flutter is a character in The Man of Mode. Look at this. First, the cover page, The Man of Mode or Sir Foppling Flutter. Wow, that is the subtitle actually of this play. The Man of Mode or Sir Foppling Flutter. It's a comedy acted at the Duke's Theatre, written by Sir George Etherege, written in 1676, performed also in 1676. Now, let's talk about The Man of Mode. set in Restoration London. It follows the story of a womanizer, Dorimant tries to win over the young heiress named Harriet. Dorimant tries to disengage himself from his affair with Mrs. Lovelet. So, who all are the major characters in The Man of More? Tell me. It is Fopling Flutter, it is Dorimant, it is Harriet, and it is Mrs. Lovelet. But no matter, the subtitle is Sir Fopling Flutter. Flutter only is a minor character in The Man of Mode, whereas the rake Dorimant is the protagonist or the major character. Dorimant is a rake, Fopling Flutter is a fop. And now you will ask, Heena, what is a rake? What is a fop? You know, these terms are associated with RD. These terms are stock characters in all of the plays in Restoration. Let's talk about rake and fop. Listen to these questions. The character type rake in Restoration comedy refers to who is a rake? A moral preacher. B, a romantic hero devoted only to a single woman. No. C, a witty, immoral seducer. Yes, immoral seducer. Yes, he is a rake. So the correct answer is C. Rake is a seducer. Rake pursues multiple women. Rake lives an aristocratic lifestyle. And you can say he actually lives a manipulative lifestyle, right? Very famous examples of rake. First, Dorimant, I just told you. He's a character in The Man of More. Second is Horner, who is a character in The Country Wife. The Country Wife is written by William Wycherley. Please remember, tell me the names of two rakes, Dorimant and Horner. Now let's talk about fop. Who is a fop? Who is a fop? Character type fop, stock character fop refers to A, a moral preacher, no. B, romantic hero, dedicated to one woman, no. D, tragic villain, no. C, a fashion obsessed foolish man, someone who wants to dress well, but he just believes in vanity and no, he has no character, nothing, not serious, no intelligence. He's a fop. C, fop is a fashion obsessed foolish man. Fop represents superficiality and vanity. Okay? Nice. Now, famous examples of fop in Restoration comedy. Fopling Flutter, I just told you, he's a character in The Man of More. And second is Sparkish, who is a character in The Country Wife. Easy? Very nice. Now come to question number 2. Which of the following best describes Restoration comedy? Which means, what is a feature of Restoration comedy? A, religious morality plays? No. B, sentimental drama? No. D, tragic romance? No. C, satire on aristocratic society? Yes. Restoration comedy is a satire on aristocratic society. And how did the authors do it? With the use of wit and irony. Nice. Question number 3. Horner, I just told you. The question says, let's read the question. Which Restoration play features the character Horner? A, The Way of the World. B, The Country Wife. Or C, She Stoops to Conquer. We just spoke about Horner, the country wife, right? Who is a Horner? He's a rake. Look, Horner is a rake. He's in The Country Wife by William Wycherley. Wow. Next question. Question number 4. Okay, let's talk about The Country Wife. This is an extra slide for you, for your advantage. Look at the page first, the title page. The Country Wife, a comedy acted at the Theatre Royal, written by Mr. William Wycherley. Okay, that's it. Author William Wycherley. Country Wife performed in 1675. Genre has to be comedy of manners. It's a Restoration comedy. Theme of The Country Wife. Listen now. Horner is a rake who spreads a false rumor that he's impotent. He cannot give babies. And this lets him access to so many married women. That's a rake, Horner, in Country Wife. Very famous scene of The Country Wife is called China Scene. China Scene is a classic example of sexual innuendo. And tell me the major characters in The Country Wife. Horner, of course, who's a rake. Marjorie Pinchwife, who actually represents the country wife. She's naive and innocent. And Pinchwife is Marjorie's husband. He's very jealous. Nice? You know about so many characters now. Come to question number 4. Which theatre company was granted a patent by Charles II? Which theatre company was granted a patent by Charles II? A. King's Company, B. Admiral's Men, or C. Queen's Men? There were actually 2 such theatres, but the major one is A. King's Company. So, after the Restoration, Charles II granted royal patents to 2 theatre companies. Majorly, it was the King's Company, which was led by Thomas Killigrew, and then it was Duke's Company also, which was led by William Devenant. So if the question comes for a singular company, please tick mark King's Company. For both, tick mark King's Company and Duke's Company. Easy? Nice. They were given patent for spoken drama. Look at Charles II. I thought I will show you. He was very famous. Like you just Google search and Charles II will be in wigged hair, like, long curly hair, his mustache, his royal robes. That's Charles II for you. Come to question number 5. She Would If She Could is a play written by She Would If She Could, which means if she wanted to, she would have done an extramarital affair. That actually is what it is. She wants affair beyond her marriage. She Would If She Could is written by A. George Etherege, B. William Congreve, C. Ephra Ben. I'm the one who is, many of us, I think most of us, hate this term also called as extramarital affair. And I sincerely feel that if you're in a relationship, you have to give your complete into that relationship. That does not mean that you will not fight with your partner. You have all the rights to fight, argue, sometimes manipulate. But having multiple affairs at the same time is so unethical, is so inhuman, and we should not do it. No. Come on, She Would If She Could is written by George Etherege. Look at the cover page. She Would If She Could, a comedy acted at His Highness the Duke of York's Theatre, performed in 1668 by the Duke's Company. The play deals with the lustfulness of the Cockwood couple, title referring to Lady Cockwood looking for an opportunity to cheat Sir Oliver Cockwood, her husband. So Cockwood couple appears in She Would If She Could by Etherege. Easy. Come to this question number 6. The Proviso Scene appears in which play? Proviso means condition. A. Love for Love, B. The Way of the World, C. The Country Wife, or D. The Man of Mode. The Proviso Scene is in The Way of the World. Listen to it. Look at the photograph first. Here are a man and a woman named Mirabel and Millamont. They agree to marry, but they have conditions. Conditions are provisos. That is how the name comes, Proviso Scene. So Millamont and Mirabel agree to marry only if this contract is signed, which means after marriage, they demand personal freedom, respect, no domination. So this marriage has no romance, it has a contract. The condition is called proviso, happens between Mirabel and Millamont. Proviso Scene in The Way of the World. Easy? Very nice. And this takes us to the last question of the day. Nice one, simple one. Let's end simply. Which of the following best describes the term double standard in restoration comedy? Double standard. A. Equal moral expectations from men and women? No. B. Higher moral expectations from men? No. D. Strict moral discipline for all? No. C. Greater freedom for men than women in sexual matters. That is what is double standard. Yes, in restoration comedy, men had more freedom to have affairs. Men had more freedom for physical, than women. That is what denoted double standard in restoration comedy. And we are done. Oh God, I loved the session. I love to teach. And I know so do you, and that is why you listened to me till the end. Thank you so much for being with me. This is Heena from Team Vallath. Have a lovely weekend. Tata, bye bye.